Hey everyone, so great to see you again. It's Judy from Coffee, Cookies, and Books. And today I've got my coffee, I got my paper and pen, and I need your help. So as I mentioned in my opening, I could use a little bit of help, suggestions, maybe some guidance. If there's anybody who watched my channel who is a regular YouTuber, and you'll probably understand kind of where I'm at with this. So I have had my channel for a year, which was October 9th was kind of the anniversary. And initially when I first started the channel, I was only doing one video a week. And then I guess about halfway through 2025, I started increasing it to 2 every now and again. And then now I'm at 2 videos a week. That is what I want to do for my channel. That helps with the growth of the channel because I know that regular posting is really kind of your magic sauce, so to speak, right? So what I have is I have essentially 6 videos that I do every month that are kind of my standard videos. Then I have sort of a random selection of ideas for things that I have done before. Where I'm kind of stuck is some of this stuff just kind of doesn't fit in as a regular type thing because some of it is kind of more quarterly. So I'd love some suggestions over and above all of these things we're going to list. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to list my standard videos down one side over here. Hopefully we have enough room for that. And then I'm going to list the ones that are more random on this side so that you can kind of see what I have. And then I would love if I could get some suggestions on things that I could consider on the random side of things. So these would probably not be things that I would do regularly, but I really want the random list to be fairly long so that I can kind of grab from that at any point to fill in the potential 2 extra videos I'm going to need every month. So you'll see what I mean when we go through this list. First and foremost, probably the video that gets me the most traffic and the most views is my upcoming month's TBR. And usually it is my Yahtzee game. And as of January, my Yahtzee game is going to be improved upon, be adding a few extra elements to it. It's going to be even a lot more fun than it already is. I went through kind of 6 months of the game in the format that I produced it in and realized that I want to make a few changes that make it just a bit meatier a game. So you will see come January. So that'll be a surprise for the beginning of the year. So that's the one video. So is my upcoming TBR Yahtzee game. Second one is my monthly book reviews. So I do one video every month. I mean, typically it's rare I have more than 10 books. If I get to a point, there's sometimes when I do some of the monthly challenges where I read more than 10 and then I find the review videos too long. So that could be potentially one of the random videos where I would split it into 2 for that particular month. And then I have my upcoming releases video. So every month I do a video. So for November, at the beginning of November, I will do releases for December. So I do that every month. I enjoy doing that. It actually gives me even more books to consider on a potential pre-order list. Love doing that. Love researching that one. Then I do my Aardvark and Book of the Month offerings. And I try to do that at the beginning of every month for what just came out that month. And I don't typically do Book of the Month predictions, but during my upcoming releases video, I may mention here and there some books that I think might end up on either one of the two lists. But this particular one is what is actually just been offered. So for the beginning of November, I will do the Aardvark and Book of the Month video as soon as the releases come out, which is first of the month for Aardvark, and Book of the Month is usually 1 or 2 days before the end of the month, before the end of the previous month. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, that is a regular. So now the other one that I'm going to do, and I will be doing 2 of these every month, is what I call my deep dive series. And what the deep dive series is vlogs. So they will be 2 books from my chosen TBR in the Yahtzee game that I will pick maybe based on the subject matter. Like for October, you know, I might pick 2 thrillers if thrillers came out. I'm even going to have some books that are going to be from my must-read list. So it's sort of, you know, challenge books, that kind of thing. So anyways, it's all going to kind of be part of that deep dive. And I'm separating it so that, one, it makes the video shorter, and because I am going to be doing spoiler videos, and people then don't have to listen if they're not interested in one book or the other. So I will be doing 2 of those. So those are my 6 permanent videos that I will be featuring every month. All right, so now let's talk about the videos that could potentially be the random videos. And like I said, I really want to make this list kind of meaty, longer. I'd like to have maybe 20 ideas down. I think I've only got, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ideas. So clearly I need a lot more. But, you know, whatever I can do to add to what I have, and you'll see when we go through these. Okay, coffee first, because this is going to be a longer list. All right. First one is quarterly check-in videos. So obviously these are only going to happen every 3 months. Like I just did one for end of September. So I will do one probably right at the beginning of January. So that'll be in part of my January videos for the end of December, which will also be a yearly check-in. So that will be a little longer a video, but I think it's a great video to do. But again, it's only once every 3 months. Okay. The other one I have is summarizing what I've read by genre. Again, this is not something that I can do every month. And the reason is because I read such a broad spectrum and I never know what's going to come out on my TBR game because it's random again. So I think this is, again, the sort of thing that maybe I do every 4th month. You know, I go like 4 months, and then a year at the end. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on that one. So this is a summarization by genre. Okay. Third one is upcoming must-reads for 2026. This will be at the end of December. So that will be one that I'll add in December. So again, I would do that at the end of December next year. So that's like a once a year video. But I'm wondering if there could be something that maybe I do at the half year point and I summarize what I've read and what I still have left to read. Because it can get a bit confusing when I do these, because I do an update every time I do TBR choices and my review videos. But I think that it can get a bit confusing. I have plans for 2026. It's going to be a rather broad list. You'll understand when I do the video for that, because I am going to do a separate video for that. So this is something that I think is going to be a great video, but again, you know, maybe twice a year. Okay. Then I have other subjects on videos that I have seen on booktube, and one of them is like TBR tags. So it's a lot of tag style videos, and I have done a few this year, maybe 3 or 4. So not a ton, but I have done a few. Then one that I do tend to do about every 3 months is what's on my Kindle, my KU, Kindle Unlimited, because my Kindle Unlimited does typically turn over regularly. Now, I don't turn over the whole thing because I do have arcs that I read in ebook form, and sometimes I get requests from authors asking me to read their books. Again, it's an ebook form. So then I tackle what I have in KU as kind of the secondary one. And I really should try and pick my TBRs from what I have in my regular Kindle. And I may do that as an idea for a TBR choice video to kind of give us a bit of a break from the Yahtsified. So that's an idea going forward. Then I do what's on my regular KU, and I do that about every 3 months, maybe every 4 months, because I do get a lot of additional books, particularly free or super cheap off Amazon deals, off of BookBub. So I do add a lot of ebooks. I just don't get much of a chance to read them, which is why I'm thinking like it might be fun to do a pick that's all ebooks 1 month. Anyway, so that's an idea. I do a video of what I have on pre-order, but I don't pre-order that far ahead. So potentially I'm thinking that could be like, again, once every 3 months. And then I do book hauls. Now, if you've watched any of my book hauls in the past, you know, typically I only do them about once every 3 months, because I like to have enough books to be able to separate by genre. Okay. Like I think the last one I did 2. And, you know, I did like romance, romantasy, that kind of thing. And then I separated out thrillers and science fiction. So I like to do that because it makes it easier for the viewer to go and look at and watch the ones that they're interested in viewing. And sometimes, like upcoming in November, there's going to be the big book outlet sale, which they have for Black Friday. And I always take advantage of that. So like I would not do I've obviously have purchased some books. I've had pre-orders, but I'm not going to do a book haul till probably end of December, maybe even leading into January. So you see, I don't do them that often. When I do them though, I do have more than one. So I prefer to do it that way because it shortens it. Because I do like to read the synopsis and give you a bit more of a rundown on what the book's about. Unless it's a second, third book in a series, and then you don't want to give it away. But yeah. So anyway, so those are the ideas I have. Try to summarize everything for you on screen. So what I need is more ideas. I need to be able to think of what can I add in that is going to give me at least a good chunk to choose from to be able to make what I'm offering every month a bit more interesting over and above the standard ones that I have. I mean, hopefully the standard ones will get more interesting with the 2 vlogs in there because I've never done them. This is going to be new. And these aren't like, you know, day in the life vlogs or anything. These are strictly me summarizing what I've read in a book. And over the period that I read it, I will do a video after each chunk I read so that I don't forget what I read. because I'm notoriously famous for that. And then I can kind of give you a really good rundown. And like I said, they will be spoiler videos. So again, they may not appeal to everyone because not everybody wants to hear spoilers on the books. But a lot of the books that I am reading aren't always newer books because I have a random selection of everything. And whatever comes up in the TBR cards, that's what I read. Okay, so that's it for this video. Again, I really love your suggestions. Just pop them all down in the comment section. And I really appreciate all of you who have taken the time to like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. It means a lot to me. And every little thing that you do pushes my channel forward in the algorithms and helps me just get more subscribers, which is always fantastic. So I guess that's it, and we will see you in the next video, which will be my Yachtsified TBR video, I think, for November. We shall see.